I was taught the wrong way to do referrals when I sold cars. And then, when I started teaching people how to sell cars, I taught them the wrong way. And about 7 years ago, a really smart salesperson who averages 57 units a month enlightened me and taught me about referrals. Have y'all been taught to ask a customer at delivery for referrals?
Yes.
Ask them for referrals when you make follow-up phone calls?
Yes.
Yep, so did I. It never, ever, 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 ever worked. Yet I still taught it. And a salesman called me on it. He said, well, you're a dumbass, Steve. Never worked for you, yet you teach people to do it. You're a dumbass. And the reason it doesn't work is based on mathematics. And when he told me this, I said, well, what do you mean mathematics? He said, yeah. He said, in any given market, whether it's DFW, Atlanta, Detroit, Los Angeles, Lafayette, Louisiana, Burlington, North Carolina, Danville, Virginia, doesn't matter what the size of the market is, only a certain percentage of those people in that market are looking for a new or used car on any given day. Do you know what that percentage is? 5. So if there's 6 million people in the DFW area, there's only 5% of them today looking actively for a new or used vehicle. So Eli, I buy a car from you today. We had a good time. I like you. I trust you, or I wouldn't spend $50,000 with you. But what are the chances of me knowing somebody else in the market for a car or a truck, new or used, today?
5%.
Yeah, 5% would be the right answer. Slim to none. I belong to a country club. I'm the only car guy that belongs to this country club. When people ask me, well, people come to me when they're in the market for a car because they know I'm in the car business. All right? So if anybody would know somebody in the market for a car today, Brandon, it would be me, because there's 500 or 600 people that are members of this country club, and most of them know who I am. I haven't heard from anybody for the last couple days, so I don't know anybody in the market for a car or a truck today. Okay? Now, do you think over time, though, I'm going to find people in the market for a car or a truck, new or used? That's what happens to your customers. I buy as a customer from you today. I buy from you today. I buy from you today. I don't know anybody else in the market for a car. But over the coming weeks, months, years, I'm going to be on the golf course, at a party, at work, at church, and someone's going to see my Ford Explorer, ST, red in color. And they're going to go, whoa, where'd you get that? If I say Clay Cooley Ford, that's nice. But if I say, go see my man Mark at Clay Cooley Ford, he took great care of me. I had a terrific time with him. The guy knows his stuff. He's honest. He's a good guy. Is Mark going to get to meet that customer?
Yes.
In all likelihood. So if you want to get rich selling cars, never, ever, ever, ever let that customer forget who you are. And
Correct.
Consequently, you can't ever forget who your customer is.
Correct.
Okay? Let me tell you the message that the guy that sells 57 cars a month, and by the way, made 450 grand the year before I met him. He's probably still making 400 plus. And this was before COVID, so it wasn't during COVID. Everybody made money during COVID. This is the message he sends to every one of his customers every single month. It's either by text, by email, or he calls them. He doesn't call everybody. He's got too many customers to call everybody. And by the way, when you make an outbound phone call, how often will you get voicemail?
But like probably 95%.
I don't know what the number is, I think it's between 80 and 90%.
That's a lot.
Okay? That's why it's a really good idea when at delivery, you ought to have the customer put your number in their cell phone. And just say, hey, look, put my number in there, that way I'm easy to reach. If you have an accident, call me, I'll walk you through what to do. If you need a service appointment, I'll help you. But that way, if your number's in their phone, they're more likely to pick up. But when he told me that he contacted all of his customers every single month, I said, well, that's what do you say to them? He said, I'll show you. And he opened up his database, put the phone on speaker, and he dialed Mrs. McGregor. This was 7 years ago. I still remember the customer's name. And he said, look, if she answers the phone, I'm going to say exactly the same thing that I would say if I get her voicemail. And by the way, last month I sent her a text, and I left the exact same message. And the month before that, I sent her an email, and I left the exact same message. So he dials the phone. Sure enough, it goes to voicemail. And this is the message that he leaves all of his customers every single month. Ms. McGregor, he said, this is Tom from dealership name. No need to call me back unless there's something I can do for you. I remember you're in the office products business, and I'm always going to send you referrals. This is Tom, your car guy at dealership name. Now, he hung up the phone, and I said, well, you're offering her referrals. He goes, if my customer is in a business that can use referrals, I'm going to remind them every single month that I'm going to send them referrals. What do you think that does to the number of referrals he gets? You don't sell 57 cars a month by just showing up and waiting for the up bus to show up, okay? You sell 57 cars a month because you've created a clientele that is out there sending you referrals. Now, he'd been in the business been selling cars for 5 years at this time, selling 57 cars a month. So you don't have to wait till you're 50 to get rich selling cars. You can do it at your age. Now, 4 months, how long you been in it? 8 months? 6 months, 2.5 years, you're just back in it, so you're basically starting all over.
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take you guys some time, but you need to start now. How long do you plan on selling cars?
For the rest of my life.
Good answer. How long do you plan on selling cars?
For a long time.
Till my company takes off.
Till your company takes off. I'll get back to that. How long do you plan on selling cars?
As long as I can.
As long as you can. Look, let me tell you why most people quit selling cars. They don't make enough money, and the job's too hard to do. The hours are too long if you're not making good money. Selling cars fun?
Yeah.
It depends. If you're making good money, it's a blast. If you're not making good money, it sucks.
It's fun when you're working deals with people.
Well, it's a blast. But you can't work enough deals to get rich by just waiting for customers to show up. You got to become a great appointment setter. This has become an appointment setting business. When I started, appointments were nice, but they weren't necessary because there was no way for a consumer to know what we had on our lot without them showing up. Internet was not a word because there was no such thing. Cell was a word, phone was a word, but they were never used together because cell phones hadn't been invented yet. Forget smartphones. So in order for a customer to figure out what a dealer had on the lot, they had to show up. I mean, dealers would run newspaper ads and list a couple vehicles, but if there were 200 vehicles on the lot, they'd list like 5 vehicles. The world has changed. The better at you become at setting appointments, the more vehicles you're going to sell. You know,